Guys, this is Carmen the Villain, and today you today this what if is gonna be what if what if Deku was a creepypasta. Sorry. Um so this what if is gonna be about was he was a creepypasta, and he will not have red hair yet, but he is he will have red hair in the future. So it starts off with Deku being born, and once he's born, like a few years later, this is when him and Bakugo are playing in the park. Bakugo's quirk starts to activate, and they send him to the quirk doctor. Well, Bakugo's mom. Sorry. Um. So because of that, um. So because Bakugo gets sent to the quirk doctor, Deku's wondering what type of quirk is he gonna have, since Bakugo has an explosion quirk. This is when Deku turns a certain age, and they go to the quirk doctor. They say Deku's quirkless. And well, he's not quirkless. He does have a quirk, but like if you saw my other video, they can't find it. Like that's a whole nother video, but they can't find Deku's quirk. It's not there. They can't find it. So they go to sorry. So they say, yeah, he's quirkless, and Deku's just shocked and a little bit broken. So and Bakugo, when he finds this out, he continues to bully Deku. This is where it gets this to the anime. Like everything just goes in canon, basically. Like as you see it, everything goes in canon. This is when Deku gets bullied. Like I don't know, but something happened. Like in the show, I can't remember. I did watch My Hero, but I can't remember half of it, and I'm not watching it again. So Deku gets attacked by the sludge venom, and then this is when All Might comes, saves him, like in canon, like everything. So this is when he asks Deku if he can be a hero even though he doesn't have quirk. He says no, so this just breaks Deku. Oh yeah, and the ship will hold on, let me show you what the ship is going to be. The ship is gonna be him and Toga. This is the ship, because how can I make him a creepypasta without making him a villain? And he will have another person that is going to be in love with him, but that's later on in the video. Okay, back to this one. So Deku is now so Deku was heading home, and this is when he gets to his mom's house, and he sees that his mom is on the floor. He quickly goes to her and calls the hospital. Like, he calls the hospital, and they say, they say Miss Midoriya, like, she's been sick for a little while, so right now she's just in the coma. So he's like, oh my god. And they say like he needs a special surgery thing to help her. Like, if you got the money, we can help her, but if not, she's just gonna stay like this. And Deku's like, crap, bro. Like, what can I do to get money? Like, Deku doesn't want to be a villain, but like, if it's to save his mom, then he technically having no choice right now. So Deku's just trying to think, like, what can I do to make money that doesn't make that's not illegal. Like, what can I do? So this is when the doctor also tells him, oh yeah, and since your mother is like this, she only has 3 months to live. Sorry about that. He's like 3 months. I have 3 months to get the money, and like to get the money that I need. Oh yeah, just to let you know, the money that Deku's gonna need is really, really expensive. Like 3 months will not be enough for him to get it. He will need like 5 whole jobs or something to get the money. So Deku starts looking for a job, and since most of the jobs that he can find are for like most of the jobs that he can find don't pay that much, and like he's not 18 yet, so they're like, oh, so most of the jobs are like, oh, you're not 18, you can't apply. He's like, but he does work at a grocery store, and like Deku, he works at a grocery store, and he also works at a pizza store, and like he also works at like a store, like he sells pizza like in the day, like in the early day, but in the middle of that day, he he goes to he goes to well, it goes like different weeks. He goes um like for Monday and I think like for Monday and I think Tuesday, Thursday or something, he works at the pizza store. Wednesday and like Wednesday and Thursday he works at the grocery store. Friday and Sunday he works at the supermarket he works at. Like the grocery store he works at is the supermarket, and like the store he just works at like a gas station store, like that type of store. But you like not like a gas station type of store, but like there is no gas station. It's just a regular store where you can just go in and that's it. Like that's where he works. Like they aren't really paying him well, but he like needs the money. And 2 months has already passed, and he kind of has like a low thousand, but it's not enough. Sorry, like the 1,000 isn't enough for his mom. He needs like another 100,000. No, he needs like another two. No, he needs another 300,000 to save his mom. And he's like, dang it, where can I get the money? Like, there's no, like, I'm not about to rob a bank, but like, what can I do? Like, how can I save my mom? Since, like, he's 15, he doesn't know what to do, and can't really take the entrance exam without the quirk, so. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering, like, the sludge villain attack when Bakugo, like when Bakugo was being attacked by the sludge villain, Deku did save him, and 2 All Might came there, but like, Deku, he headed home real quick because normally his mom would be worried about him, like, at this time, and she would, like, call him or something, so he hurried on home, so he hurried home really fast, so yeah. Deku, at this point, he's thinking, what can he do to make sure his mom stays alive, because he only has 2 more months for her until she dies, and like 3 months ain't enough time. So like he start working extra, like he start working overtime, and he finds another job. Like Sunday, that's when he will get his breaks. This man barely goes to school. Like he barely goes to school. Like he's trying to, he has a job to do. He barely goes to school. So so he so this is when he found another job as like a coffee, like he works at the coffee shop. Hold on, I need to check something real fast. Okay, I was just wondering what was happening with my family. Nothing really happened, so yeah. Deku, he's working overtime in his jobs, and he found another job at where they make coffee, and the pay is way more higher than, it's like way more higher than they pay at his normal jobs. Like because the person at the coffee shop he asked Deku what was wrong, and Deku told him, so he like pays him more than he pays him more than he pays the other workers. That's why. So he works at a coffee job, where he makes coffee and like puts it at people's table. So, so this is so he has 1 more month, and so now this is the last month, and now his mom only has 2 weeks to live. So he's working way more overtime than he usually does. He like Deku, he now cleans the floors. Like he also works as thing, but he like cleans the floors. He cleans everything. Like he's working way more overtime than he usually does. He cleans everything. Cause now he knows that his mom only has 2 more months. So so he's wondering what can he do. So he's thinking what can he do to make what can he do to make sure his mom doesn't die? Because with all the money that he has now, he's trying to make sure he survives, and also his mom. And I'll say in these 2 weeks, his mom, like in the last month, his mom did wake up, and she was planning on going back to work, but Izuku said, no, stay here, stay in the hospital, I got you. Like Deku, he also works at his mom's job. Like I know it's because they were wondering what happened to Inko, and Deku told them, and he said like, oh, can I work at my mom's job since she's not really there? I'll try and do my best. And they're like, well, someone has to get this done, so you hired, bro. You hired. Take your mom's place, bro. So yeah, he works at his mom's job, so, and his mom's job is paying him how they would usually pay his mom, but like a bit more. And a week passed, Deku's still working on what to do. Like, Deku, he stopped going to school, and he barely gets any sleep now. Like he barely gets sleep. And this is when, like, on the last week, like, they say that your mom now has 3 days. Last week, like, Deku's in his job, he's making coffee. He then faints. Like, they're wondering, oh, what happened? And, like, this guy just fainted out of nowhere. Like, he made coffee, and he was bringing it to a table, and he just fainted. Like, this is when, like, someone goes to the hospital, and when they do, they're like, oh, they say, like, Deku was kind of in the coma for a few days, so they say, oh, you were in a coma for 3 whole days. This is when Deku realized 3 days. Then he realized something else, his mom. And he asks the doctor what happened to his mom. He says, I'm sorry, Izuku Midori, but your mom didn't make it. the money that you had still wasn't enough, so we couldn't save her. I'm sorry. So he's crying because he doesn't know what to do since his mom is gone. So he's wondering, what should he do now? So Deku, he quit all the rest of his jobs, but like he stayed, like where he made the coffee, like he stayed there. Like that's the only place that, like, that's his second home to him. His second, for Deku, that place is his second home. Like he knows that out of all of his jobs, that's the most job that would honestly worry about him. So Deku is like, so this is when they say, oh, Deku, we'll still pay you, but you gotta get some rest though, bro. Like, you're looking tired. So Deku goes back home and he gets as much rest as he can before going back to work. Oh yeah, and at Inku's funeral, since the only one that was really there was Deku, like, no one really came to Inku's funeral. Only the Bakugos and Izuku, that was it. Isashi's family members or her family members, they didn't come. Like, they just weren't there. So they say, so this is when, like, a few days later, Deku has been cutting himself on the wrist and a bunch of stuff. So, like, but he makes sure people doesn't notice that he's doing this. So this is when he's taking a bath, and he sees that the cuts are just bleeding out. So even though Deku did kind of quit school, even though he kind of did quit school, his work, like he didn't really quit school. He was still supposed to go to school, but he stopped going to school. Like he just stopped going like that at some point, because he had to worry about his mom and his job, so he just stopped going. So this is when the teacher asks, so a teacher of Deku's class, like, he doesn't go to UA, but he goes to a different school. So they ask Deku, so a teacher asks a student, they say, so a teacher says, I'm sorry, but have you seen Izuku Midoriya? And they say, nah, he hasn't been here for a whole month and 2 weeks. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him for 2 whole months. So this teacher's kind of getting kind of worried now. So, I know he was a principal to been worried, but he still used to go to school, and even though he used to never really was there, he still went to school, got his work and completed it, and came back the next day, gave it to the teacher, and they're now he's just kind of starting to get worried about him. So this is when he calls some heroes. The heroes barge in, they just break into this man's house. They break into his apartment, and they see that he's in the bath with blood all around him. So they call the hospital. And they tell the heroes, wow, you're really lucky, because this boy could have died sooner or later. So, but for right now, he's just in a coma. So they're like, phew. Oh yeah, and this hero was the hero that went to go with Deku. The hero was Mr. Aizawa. And he wants to ask Deku some question when he wakes up. And this is when class 1A asks this Mr. Azawa why he wasn't in school yesterday. Like, why wasn't he there? He says, oh, because he had to do a hero work. They say, what happened? Some kid cut himself and he was in the bathroom of a pool in his own blood. They're like, oh, that's sad, that's sad. So this is when Kirishima asks him what was his name. And they say his name was Izuku Midoriya. Deku Bakugo, not Deku, but he immediately gets along by this saying Izuku was in the pool of his own blood. Like, now Bakugo's starting to feel some guilt for him, but yeah, he doesn't care. So he then, like, Bakugo does feel guilt for like what he did in the past to Deku, but like him cutting himself being in the pool of his own blood, like, that ain't normal. He doesn't do that. So this is when Bakugo asks if he can see Deku, and he's like, sure, but why? He says, because I used to know him. But he tells him, like, Bakugo tells him this in secret. Like, he says, because I used to know him when we were kids. And he's like, okay, so if that's what happened, that's what happened. So Deku goes to, so they go to the hospital, and Deku is now awake. Like, the doctors already told him, like, how he almost died if the heroes never got there. So he's like, okay, so, like, Deku, Deku doesn't care right now, like, it's not my problem. Like, he just doesn't care about heroes or villains or any of that. He lost all sense of emotion. And this is when Bakugo comes, and ever since he's been in the hospital, he found no emotions, but now he just feels complete. He still feels nothing. But Aizawa walks in, and then this is when Bakugo walks in right after him, and they're like, are you okay? What happened? He just says, I'm fine, and he says, this is when Deku just says, I'm fine, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of ready to go home. Like, my mom just died, so I'm ready to go home. They're like, you can't go home, your house is a mess, and besides, your house is on sale, you have nowhere to go. So you have to be staying with the Bakugos. He's like, what? What happened in the time that I was going out of my house? Like, I was just in my apartment. So they're saying, yeah, you were in your apartment in your bathroom of a pool of your own blood, but like, the police nor like the hospital trust you going back there, so sorry about that. So they say, yeah, you're going to have to stay with the Bakugo since you're not 18 and you don't really live, like, you're not 18, you can't really live by yourself in that house, so we gotta put you somewhere. And since Bakugo was like your childhood friend, you're gonna be staying with the Bakugos. So Bakugo doesn't really say anything, they're just there. Like, they're not staring at each other, they're just both looking down, just staring. So, like, they haven't said nothing for 3 whole minutes. So Mr. Ozawa breaks the silence again, saying, so, Deku, how's your day going? And he's like, fine. And then this is when Mr. Ozawa asks him, would you like to meet class 1A? He says, I honestly don't care. Like, he just literally says that. He says, I don't care. So he's like, okay, so, so he goes to So next day, it's they say Mr. Zhao says they have a trip. They say, oh, where are we going? They say you're going to the hospital to meet Izuku Midoriya. It's like, oh, and they're like, oh, okay, I hope he's okay and all that stuff. So, but Todoroki, he doesn't really care all that much. So, oh yeah, and I'll say when Deku was working in his jobs, he did dye his hair red. Like, he dyed his hair red. And his hair grew a lot since he didn't really have the time to cut it. Since, like, as soon as this man got home, he was immediately tired. He did not have the time to cut his hair. So this is just his hair. And to be honest, Deku kind of likes it like this, so he's not gonna cut it. So Deku is at home, and Deku's at home, and he's like, he's not at home, he's in the hospital, and they're like, hey, Kaminari, Kirishima, Momo, you know how they like start introducing themselves to Deku, and he's like, okay, hi, nice to meet you. So, like, they really just don't know what to say to Deku because this is their first time meeting them. Like, this is honestly his first time meeting people from 1A, so he doesn't really care. And then this is when Mineta breaks the silence. Because they were talking to them. Because nobody was talking, they were all just looking down or looking at Deku, like, with straight silence. So this is when Mineta asks Midoriya, what type of girls are you into? And he's like, huh? Like, Deku, he doesn't care. He's like, I don't know. This is when Mineta says, come on, you got to be in some sort of girl. And he's like, I've been working for 3 whole months with money I earned. I haven't talked to a girl. I haven't talked to a girl, or he hasn't really talked to much of a girl. All the girls that he talked to have been his customers. Bro, I haven't seen or heard of any other girl. All the girls that I met have been my customers or employees or crewmates, like people that he works with in his shop, like in the restaurants he works in or stores. Like, that's the only girl she's really seen. So he doesn't talk to them or meet up with them. Like, he says, well, I'm not really interested in anyone right now. So Deku just says, well, I've seen some girls, but I'm not interested in any of them. So I'm single for right now. So Mineta's like, okay, but like, if I showed you a girl magazine, will you be into one of them? Like, and this is when, before he can, he says, if I show you, this is when Mineta stops in his sentence because Momo hits him on the head, and this is when he says, let's change the subject. So they say, what do you like to do for fun? He just says, nap, I guess. So they're like, okay, this is getting kind of boring. So this is when Aizawa says, okay, the trip is over, it's kind of getting late, you can all go home. So they're like, okay. They're just like, okay. And they say, y'all can visit him tomorrow, since that's on the weekend, and since it's the weekend tomorrow, y'all can visit him tomorrow, and y'all can bring gifts or something. But what? So it's late at night. Deku's like, he's still up. He's like kind of still up there. Like he's up late at night. It's 3 a.m. No, it's 2:05. Like it's 2:55 a.m. for Deku. And he gets up and he's leaving the hospital. He finds the clothes that he was wearing when when he was he finds the clothes that he was wearing, but like they changed the clothes, so these are the clothes that he can wear, like regular normal clothes. But those clothes don't fit him anymore. Since like in hospital, like he's like in a hospital, he kind of grew more. Like now he's just as tall as Bakugo, but like he's not all that tall. He's kind of the same height as Bakugo, but like not that tall. So this is when they see that Deku was wearing. Hold on. Okay, they see that Deku's kind of wearing something like this, but like his shoulders do have sleeves. So they see that he's wearing a necklace, but it's a cross, and like he's wearing a black shirt and black pants, minus the belt. So he's just walking, and this is when that's when he's walking. He gets to the thing, and he just keeps walking because he doesn't care. So hold on. He keeps walking because he doesn't care. So they're saying, oh, one. They say, so this is when they know it's Deku, and they saying, oh, 312 has escaped, has escaped containment, and they're like, oh, the doctors are like trying to get a hold of Deku, but he's like not minding them. He just keeps, like every time they grab him, he just pushes them off him or says let go. So this is when and some of them do try and use their quirk on him, but but it's for some reason not working. Like Deku, he's just dodging it, or it's just not working for some reason. And they're like, is this his quirk or something? This is when the heroes come and they see Deku. The heroes come, they see Deku, and they say, oh, someone is escaping the hospital. And this is when Aizawa's there, he sees Deku. He's like, Azuku Midoriya, please go back to the hospital. Please go back in the hospital, or else we will have to continue. He's like, no, I don't want to go back, and you can't make me. This is when Aizawa says, fine, I'll have to do it by force, but what do you know? Villains come right in front of him as he's shooting his scarf tape or something at Deku to hold him down, but it doesn't get him. It just gets blocked. It gets blocked by a villain. And who is this villain? It's Dabi. This villain's Dabi. He's like, this villain. Well, the villain isn't Dabi, but like, it's a villain. So this is when the newscast comes, and they're like, oh, someone has escaped from the hospital, and now the villains are trying to get him, and the heroes are trying to stop them. So they're like, so Deku was like, oh my god, they're doing too much. Just let me go home. So Deku is like, what do I have to do to get some peace and quiet around here? So he just slips by without anybody really knowing. So Deku, he slipped by without anyone really knowing. Like, no heroes or the villains, they don't know that he just escaped. Like, the villains, they don't know that Deku just walked away. Like, he literally just walked away. That's it. Like, they didn't even know. They didn't care. But while he's walking away, the villains lost. They got sent to jail. And now the heroes are trying to find Izuku. Because he literally just walked away. So, sorry, that's just me playing with the dust that I have in my room. So, since Deku just literally walked away, they're trying to find him. And after trying to find him, okay. After trying to find him, they say, they're like, oh, I don't know about you, but so at this point, like, it's been 10 minutes, they really can't find Deku, and Deku has been in the places that they were searching in, but he has just been hiding. Like, at this point, he was good at hiding, so he's just been hiding from them. Or the hiding skills as a kid came in handy. Now I'm playing. But, like, so they're trying to find Deku, so they say. So most of the heroes, they just give up, except Mr. Aizawa, since he's like, this is too much work to find just one kid. But he doesn't know that, like, he doesn't know that he's 10, like, he doesn't know that he's 20 meters, like, actually, he's like, Mr. Aizawa, he's like, you can say that he's 20 meters and 5 blocks, I think 5 blocks away from Deku, like, and he just keeps going more further and further away from Deku, like, and Deku just keeps going further and further away from him. This is when Deku goes in the alleyway, and who do you know he sees? He sees Toga. This is who he sees. And this is when she turns around and sees, Deku, and she's like, this, because to her, Deku looks cute, because he has been running from the cops and the heroes, so he's all messy right now. So he's all messy, and Deku, he's just all messy, and hold on. Deku, he's kind of bloody because he's messy, and also kind of bloody because he had fell a couple of times. Hitting his, he scraped his arm, he scraped his legs, he scraped his face a little bit, but yeah, like he just got bruises from, like, fighting off the police and the heroes, so they're like, so for them, they're like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, how can I? Like, he's like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, he's like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. Now I run into a villain. So he's like, hi, Mr. Villain, please don't hurt me. So this is when he sees, like, Deku, he sees that, that this girl is running straight towards him, so he starts running too, and he starts running for like hours, bro. He runs for so long that he runs so fast that now he's next to an abandoned building. Like, that's where he just is. Like, it's kind of out of the town, but it's an abandoned, it's a abandoned building, and he's like, okay, I have to find a way to get out of this mess. So now it's the morning, cause he just fell asleep. Like, in this building there was a bed. It was a bed, right? Oh yeah, and this abandoned building was an abandoned insane asylum. So he's just there. So he sees a bed and he just starts sleeping on it. It's not that comfortable, but hey, he gotta do what he gotta do, right? And there is also a shower room, but the showers are kind of broken, and the ones that are fixed are kind of dirty, but there is one that is clean, and the one that he can take a good shower in, and and he just saw a fresh bar of soap, so he grabs that and takes a shower. Oh yeah, and he and before he like while he was running, he went to his old house. Like he went to his old house and he just started getting his clothes. Like he has clothes. Like he grabs his money, all the money he got over the months that he was working, and he grabs his clothes, and he's like out. Like now he's out. So now he's just running away. This is when in the morning he sees who next to him. Sorry. This is when he sees Hidemi Toga right next to him with these type of eyes, watching him sleep. And she's like, and he's like, whoa, 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 how did you get next to me while I was here? And she's like, I've been here the whole time, Izuku. And he's wondering, how did this girl get his name? It's because she looked inside this man's wallet. Like, bro, what do you expect? You got your name, you got your first name, your middle name, all that inside your wallet. Like, bro, what do you expect? And in this building, like Hirumi Toga is here and sleeping. Like she's not sleeping, but like she's just staring at Izuku intensely, and he can feel that this girl is staring at him, and but he never turns around. Like he never turns around because she must think that he's still asleep. So he's trying to wait until she's asleep so that way he can escape. So that way he can escape. And he's like, okay, I gotta think. How can I bring this girl to sleep? What can I do? So, this is when like after, so not after anything, but like him and Toga, they're just sitting there. So he says, so he just finally gets up. He finally gets up and now he finally gets up and he is now, like he gets up and Toga is awake. She is still awake. And she says, hi Zuku, and he says, I already knew you was there. He's just like, I already knew you were there, so what are you saying hi to me for? So, and he can see the intenseness in her eyes, or the intense love that she has, like the passion in her eyes. So he's like, this girl's crazy. Oh yeah, and 3 hours have passed by now. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. And like 3 hours have passed by, and like a few more hours have passed, and now it's the evening. Now it's turning like dark, and he has just been there like the whole day. He just spent the whole day with Toga. Like they did go outside like and into town, but Deku made sure that they weren't recognized. Like he was trying to lose Toga in the city, but every time he did, she just found him. So eventually he stopped. So this is when they go back to the insane asylum, but when they head back, it is now 12:05. It is now 12:59. It's 12:59 a.m. and it now just turned 1 a.m. And who who was there the whole time while they were sleeping and they didn't know? Or well, Deku was sleeping and he didn't know, but he was watching him sleep. And yes, who was there? Jeff the killer. Yes, Jeff the killer was there watching Izuku sleep the whole time. He's wondering if he should kill him now or just, he's wondering if he should kill him now or should he keep him alive and play with him. But he doesn't. So this is when, he's about to go to bed and he feels this strange, intense feeling. But it's the intent to kill, not the way that Toga is showing him. So he looks back, and this is when he sees a face smiling at him. It's Jeff the killer. And he's like, "Who are you?" This is when Jeff then goes up to Deku, running to him, yelling, "Go to sleep." And this is when Toga sees this, and she's running at Jeff, and their knives just clash. They're just having a fight now. And nobody's really winning. They're just both getting cut and stuff. So this is when Slenderman walks in and he's like, what's happening, bruh? You taking too long. What's happening? He says, "Oh, well, I found these guys in my territory, and now it's time for them to go to sleep. But this crazy girl is stopping me from killing him and her." Slenderman is like, so I see. So they're like, okay, so Slenderman's like, would you like to live with us? And he's like, fine, we have nowhere else to go, so you might as well. So for the past days that they've been, but they do have their own space. Toga has said that many of times that they were boyfriend and girlfriend. So Slenderman just gave them to their own room and their own house, kind of, because they don't want to hear them doing it. But this is where I'm going to end off the video. I will see you guys next time. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye.